I'm Andrew Hoyle for CNET UK, and this is the Samsung Galaxy Note 2. As a follow-up to last year's Galaxy Note, the Note 2 shares many of the same traits. It has a pull-out stylus, is running the Android operating system, and of course it's absolutely huge.
With the 5.5-inch high-definition screen, the new Note really does blur the line between what can legitimately be called a phone or a tablet. It's marginally longer than its predecessor, but slightly narrower, so it's a bit easier to hold in one hand. It's still massive though, so if you find yourself struggling with the Galaxy S3's 4.8-inch display, then this really won't be the phone for you.
Comes with a stylus tucked into the bottom, which Samsung calls the S Pen. It's easy to hold and turns your massive device from a phone into a notebook for sketches and shopping lists. Samsung has bundled that with a bunch of software designed to take advantage of the pen, chief among which is the imaginatively titled S-Note.
S-Note is essentially a note-taking app, but rather than just write down lists of words, it lets you add images, graphics, videos and map locations to turn your notes into visually attractive magazine-style pages. Of course, your results with this really depend on how artistic you are and how long you've got to spend messing around with it. The S Pen also allows you to perform tasks using various gestures in something called Quick Gesture. Draw an @ symbol in the dialog box, followed by someone's name, and you'll be taken to a new email to that person. The pen can also be used to see previews in certain apps. For example, when watching a video, if you hover the cursor over the seek bar, it will show you a thumbnail of that part of the video, so you know exactly where to skip to. It can also show you more information when you hover over calendar events and emails, saving you have to tap in and out of separate items to find what you need. The Note 2 is running on the latest version of Android known as Jelly Bean, which brings a bunch of neat tricks to the table, including an increased frame rate for smoother page transitions, and of course Google Now. Google Now is an information service that learns your habits and tries to give you info before you've even searched for it. In my case, it was able to notify me in advance when it was time to leave for a meeting, based on where I was and how long it would take to get there in current traffic. As well as the S Pen software, Samsung has thrown a bunch of its own stuff in too, including its games and video hubs, pop-up play to view your videos in a window, and the ability to scroll notes on the back of your photos to view later. Under the hood is a 1.6 GHz quad-core processor backed up by 2 GB of RAM, which gave the best performance on my benchmarks that I've ever seen from an Android device. It's perfectly capable of tackling the most demanding apps and 3D games without any argument whatsoever. In general, if you're just looking for a standard smartphone to handle the essentials of messaging and social networking, the Note 2 isn't the phone for you.
If, however, you rely on your phone for work and need a bigger screen for writing and flying through your emails, then it's definitely worth checking out. I'm Andrew Hoyle, and this is the Samsung Galaxy Note 2.